Burst is funded in part by a Big Sky Film grant from the Montana Film Office.
Hello, my name is Brandon Andrews. I'm a recent graduate for the Art School of Atlanta, and I work as a freelance animator for Team KAIZEN on their Bird of Paradise rig. Let's get into that. So working on animal rigs was pretty new to me, so I was, happy to face the challenge. What I usually do when I start a new rig is I like to examine it, I like to go over the new controls, and see how it likes to move around. As you can see the wings, it has a tail, thing, unlike a human, and of course it has a beak for speaking and legs for walking. So of course I try to see how it all works, how it works differently from a human, see how it goes down. Not all rigs are created equally, so you gotta really, get into the motion of things. I was tasked out to create a walk cycle and a flight cycle. While I am familiar with a walk cycle, a flight was pretty new to me, so that took a little bit of studying. In addition to actual birds, I studied the movements of the Pokemon Corviknight, and I really liked how it moved in the Pokemon video games. In addition to that, I also used the Helmet Rock King from Legend of Zelda games. I would say this took quite a bit of trial and error, honestly, since flight cycles is so brand new to me that I had to make it look so natural. As you can see when it starts, it looks very stiff. It's not, as realistic as I would like to be, so I had to take it back to the drawing board. One of the most important things with animation is always getting your pose correct. As you can see here, I take a more bird-like pose, and it's going to make the animation process so much easier. And after studying movements, we actually, examine your animation, it starts moving so much more seamlessly. As you can see here, I move slowly down and it goes right back up into a looping animation. You may have noticed my rig is now a different color, but this is actually a necessary step in Autodesk Maya to begin the texturing process. You may have also noticed a dome in the background, but that's actually my lights. Lights are used in renders to, brighten up the scene, and so you can see what the rig's actually doing when it's time to animate. The next thing I did was work on a walk cycle for birds. Since birds do not walk like humans, this also took a little bit of studying. But even I admit, examining how a bird walks is far more simple than it may seem. When it comes to walk cycles of any kind, the most important thing is contact with the ground and of course timing. So what I like to do is of course examine is the bird touching ground at all times, and if not, one leg should be up and one leg should be down. As you can see, what I said about timing really comes into play. If you don't get the timing just right, you could run the risk of looking like a chicken's bucking animation as opposed to the bird of paradise, which is what we're going for. With animation, I cannot stress enough that it comes down to a lot of trial and error, but when you stick it out, you'll be greeted to one fantastic final product. Here, have a look.